Hello, everybody. Welcome to another jazz session. I'm Coozer. I'm a retard in the internet, and sometimes I write comics and shit. And today I want to talk about AI and what is gonna be the future in comics with these new technological developments, in my opinion. Okay, just take it with a grain of salt. I'm just here yapping to the void, to whoever has the ears and the patience to decipher my encrypted messages and my weird ways to phrase things and shit. But yeah, and my predictions about the future with AI is that AI is gonna steal your girl, man. Yeah, AI is about to steal your girlfriends and your wives and shit. Not just kidding. But what? Well, it's not. I'm half kidding. It's kind of like true, but we're not going that route yet. But never mind. So going back to the point of AI and how this technology is been developing these couple of years in astronomical ways. Just this year, we've been seeing the evolution of that type of technology. It's not just image creation now. Is videos, even high production shots of reimagining of movies or TV series, even memes are getting better and better. And I don't know if I'm the only one who is kind of like getting the feeling that this shit is getting too real. Now you cannot differentiate between an AI video and a real one, and that's scary. And either way, in my point, and bringing it back about comics, is that most of the industry is not in the. We're not in the same page. What I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to accomplish with all these nonsense that I'm just spewing, is the new generations, starting from the millennials, Gen Zs, and Gen Alphas, I guess. I don't know. They are more in tune with the technological advances that we have. And, well, until the point that it worries me a little bit. And they are learning to create their own type of content. And in a couple of years, a kid will be able to create an entire comic just by prompts, kind of, probably, yeah. But either way, it has to be managed by a creative mind. So what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, these technological advantages will help a lot of people to create and produce more. And if we're talking about creating new jobs and new careers, I think the use of AI and the study and kind of like not just innovation with AI will help the job market, but at the same time it will help educate new generations. What I'm trying to say is the AI now is kind of like a one-on-one teacher type of service. At the same time, it does your research. It's just with ChatGPT. It helps you with your research. It helps you with managing your schedule. It helps you with remembering stuff. Like it keeps in mind your calendar. It's kind of like your ChatGPT can fulfill a bunch of spots that were necessary to a stable business now. And with this advantage, we are seeing the destruction of the white collar type of job, office jobs. There weren't too much like a requirement of a lot of responsibilities. Most of those jobs were being at the office, typing data, or maintaining appointments and sending emails and contacting people. All that shit will get replaced by AI. And in that same sense, we can view this new wave that the old heads cannot stop it, because it's coming. It's already here, though. It's already here. Younger generations are more kind of like techno driven and techno like the fucking music in general. Well, technology driven, and well, we can argue that their attention spans are shit, but at the same time they are not directed to use these technologies in a more proficient and beneficial way. I think the younger generations will benefit a lot with using AI and learning a lot of stuff with AI, but that depends on the interests of the individuals that are trying to use this technology. Like, if you're a kid that you are really, really kind of like, I don't know, you want to be part of the comic book industry, but you are not techno savvy yet. Like, and when I'm talking about young, like 20, 22 or whatever, I would recommend to learn some trade or be a plumber or something that require like manual labor and construction, because that's recession like a bulletproof. Like, that's something that is always gonna be kind of like an expectation of workers for those type of jobs. And almost no, well, it's those jobs are not for everybody. So those type of jobs will have more like empty spots. And yeah, that's manual labor, that's like manly labor. But if you don't mind, you can do that. And those type of jobs, they're not gonna be replaced like probably in the 10 to 20 years. But eventually, if AI research to start developing more robotics, yeah, everything will be automated, and all the assembly lines and people who kind of like do their own productions and kind of like works and creates a product here in America, they will disappear. Even I'm worried that the construction can be kind of like erased too, if we reach like to the point of kind of like using robots, but with actually sentient intelligence that will understand directions and will kind of like do their own problem solving, and it will kind of like analyze human nature, like. And at that point, I hope that they apply the laws of Isaac, the three laws of robotics of Isaac Asimov. I pray to fucking God that whoever is developing these technologies is really fucking careful with these shits. We are in a razor's edge to the point that our extinction is really fucking possible. We are in an arms race, technologically speaking, and innovations with China and Russia, and that's what it is. We are kind of like in a cold war, but it's hush hush. Nobody's talking about it really. But whoever kind of like rules with, like, whoever is in charge of the first sentient AI will rule the world, essentially. So we are in the brink of a lot of social and economics hurdles, but I think, and I think that these new generations are a little bit more mature than our generations, and they know they're fucked. They believe me, Gen Z, they know they're fucked. They're fucked up. The economy and everything. They didn't have a chance to fight in this system, this broken system. So I think for young people, it will be essential for the future to dabble a little bit with technology and learn different type of I wouldn't call it professions, because I think professions are dead. We are kind of like multitasking at this point. We are kind of like learning and doing whatever is necessary at the moment to survive. So I think younger generations are catching the drift. So I'm hopeful, and because whenever this fucking shit goes sentient, I probably will be dead. But what I'm trying to convey with all this conversation and what all this shit has to do with comics, I don't know, bro. But doing comics gets you to these fucking weird conversations, So let's go back to the point of comics. No, AI is not gonna replace humans that creates art, okay? Because now that what I'm doing is a hybrid. I use AI, yes, but I use other kind of programs like Photoshop to kind of like clean up and make the compositions that I'm creating make sense, and merging them all the images together, because I do photo bashing most of the time, and whatever I'm using kind of like a new composition, I start with, let's say, a basis idea, and then from one basic idea I start to change it and and mess around with the prompts until I got something totally different, or probably the same, kind of like a first example that I put in the chat in chat GPT or in the AI to help me develop my advertisement, my pictures that I use to, like, let's say, sell my brand, my name. 𝕐𝕦𝕤 Comics, that is my publishing line. Well, my publishing label. Sorry, it's not my publishing line. I'm sorry. Today I'm a little chill, but what I'm trying to say is that I think now that we are in the indie scene, in the indie scene is expanding itself, like it's getting larger and larger, and people are, uh well, people are starting to hear about the indie scene. So the younger people are kind of like, figuring out how everything works, and probably in a couple of years we will see a new wave of new creators with new ideas and new ways to develop and create comics. And I think that's important. I always think about the 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 next wave, the new generations, and what they're gonna bring to the table. And I think that in comics is gonna be an exciting future. I think if we are level-headed enough to accept the just using ChatGPT and just AI to develop everything related to art, yeah, it will kill the craft and the passion behind learning how to draw and how to basically create plastic art, like real art, like painting with oil paints and shit like that. I don't want that to get lost in the future. I think the new path, well, just for me and whoever is gonna work or I'm gonna work with, I'm just gonna, like, work with people that are kind of like in the same page, you have the same opinion as me. And for me, the new generations will need to learn traditional art, digital art, and then learn how to, you know, explode their imagination and their creativity with AI. I think that will be a path of l- trying and error, but at the end, you will learn a lot about the process, and you have to love the process. That's another thing. A lot of people think that learning a new skill is something that is gonna be quick, is gonna be a quick fix, and it's never like that. It's a process. It's always a process. It's trying and error. So yeah, I think for me, and I'll always will fight for the rights of artists and craftsmen, because I respect the arts. I respect artists, but at the same time, it's not the I'm not I'm gonna, like, give the blind eye to some of the, let's say, the bad rap and or the bad name that some individuals bring to the name of comic artist or being a comic artist. Some people, yeah, are polemical in these spaces, in these circles, um, but that's part of the game. That's you think being a creative is something the sane and the timid will do. No, we all fucking crazy. We all fucking insane. Just look at me. You can barely fucking understand what the fuck I'm saying, even though I have the words, but sometimes the words just don't come out of my fucking mind or my tongue. So sometimes I just, my wires just get all curled up and tied up, and then I just have malfunctions, and that's why I speak like this. But in resolution, the message of all this video is don't worry, the robots are not coming to kill you and your family and shit like Terminator um type shit. Calm down. Not yet. We are in the beginnings of a new industrial revolution, and I think if we keep the new generations informed and at least made them think our point of view of what is important to kind of like conserve our humanity, because I think a talent cannot be replicated fully by AI. And we can argue about that. Even though there is some transhumanist people that think the AI one day will have the cognitive capabilities of a human being and it will become sentient and stuff. I doubt it. I really doubt it. The human mind is so complex and so natural to his own nature that is inexplicable. Even Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists and professors, he went deep into the unconscious of the human mind. And he dies still researching, finding meaning in our endless void that we call unconscious. And I think that cannot be replicated by a machine, even though we have all the cleanest and sharpest technologies at hand. We got the cybernetics and even the bioorganics to create a replicant type of human being. Yeah, type like Blade Runner. I think the either way, it will have that uncanny valley of human interaction and human connection. It will feel like at some point you are just talking to a toaster that has like a lot of width and personality and shit. But I don't know. Probably I'm insane. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was what I bring to you guys to talk about things that I like to talk about with myself. And I don't know, I just wanted to share with you keep the conversation rolling. And yeah, I'm still working on my projects, and I will keep you guys updated in my with my posts. I will let you guys know whenever I'm going live, when is gonna be my next live. And yeah, I already post on, if you notice, I already post a new comic in my webtoon page. So go read my comics if you like. I already updated it. I didn't say shit because I'm so embarrassed that all this effort and just one chapter was decent enough. So I just let it just go to the reader directly so they can enjoy it. But I don't know. The rest of it, I will talk about it in my live stream, explaining to you guys why I've been taking too long, because doing good shit takes time. Takes time. Never mind. I'm weird. So, peace. We'll see you when I see you.